Hi, everyone. Welcome to Collective Tarot with me, Betina Bethlem from Born Witchy for the Lori Project. Hope everyone is doing well this Gemini season. If you want to communicate with me, feel free to ping me in the chat. And for those of you who are new to me, my name is Betina Bethlem. I'm a tarot reader and astrologer. My company is called Born Witchy. I do these monthly. I think this month I'm actually doing 2. So we'll see each other again in a couple weeks. And what I usually like to do is to give a little bit of sort of an energetic report before we dive into the cards, just of kind of like what's going on energetically and what's going on in the cosmos and astrologically that's affecting us as a collective right now. Just to kind of inspire you and have you think through what you might want to bring as an intention for the cards today. And then we do a very brief little meditation just to ground into the present moment so that we can connect with our intuition and the question that we have for the cards today. I always say that tarot is way less about future telling and way more about really connecting with what's going on in your present moment, because that is all we really have, and that is where we create our future from. So the choices that we make today are how the fortune gets developed. You know, fortune telling isn't really real because there's so many different timelines that you can follow in your life. And what the tarot helps you do is have more of like a hand in the creation of what's going to come up next. I hope that makes sense. So we'll do that little meditation. I will prompt you to think of a question or an intention for the cards. I will then ask you to decide which of the cards I'm going to pull. Usually I do 3 or 4 is going to be the main message for you. And then I interpret each of them, and we can like also weave them all together at the end, given a full reading. Okay. So we're in Gemini season. We have been for a little bit now since the end of May. And there's a lot going on with Gemini right now because the planet of Uranus moved into this sign maybe like a month ago. And Uranus is the sign of kind of disruption and change. It's related to the sign of Aquarius, and we are in the Aquarian age. And there's a lot going on with the sign of Aquarius right now too, because it's about to meet up with Pluto, which is what happened when the Declaration of Independence was signed back in the day, and the French Revolution and all of these things. So it is very much like a tumultuous moment of transformation and change that we're going through. And it's impacting the way we communicate, the way we think about things, the way that we kind of connect with our community and all of that, because those are all things that Gemini rules. And Gemini is an air sign. I'm a Gemini. And the air element is represented by swords in the tarot, and it has to do with the intellect, the way we think. It's honestly the beginning of any kind of creative or manifestation process. You can think of it as your thoughts and your words influence how you feel. So that's water element next. So air element, water element, swords, cups. How you feel influences how you act and what you do out in the world. So that's fire element. Wands in tarot, and then how you act, the aligned actions that you take then lead to Pentacles, earth, which is like the thing becoming tangible and manifesting in your life. So the reason the swords element in the tarot are kind of where all the most sort of tricky, sticky, I don't want to say scary because I don't think any of them are scary, but some of the more difficult cards are in the swords suit, is because our mind is what most easily goes out of balance and what most easily gets the best of us. It's a great tool. The intellect is amazing, but we really need to be very clean and directed and intentional with how we're using our words, what we're saying about ourselves, what we're saying about other people, what we're thinking. All of that is very important for having a happy life and having good manifestations coming up in front of you. So this is a really good time to kind of think about that. And we're coming up on the solstice in a few weeks. I think the next time we meet will be right around the solstice. The solstice is the longest day of the year. solar, like the sun is life force energy. It's a moment, it's the midpoint of the year for us to sort of, it's almost like a second New Year's. It's a moment for us to sort of like pause and take stock and see like what is illuminated, where have, like really look at things honestly and be like, where have we come in the past 6 months? Where do we want to go next? We have another half of this year left. Like, what are we going to do with what we've done so far? So I always think of the solstice as a good sort of like midway check-in. So yeah, that's some of the stuff that's going on energetically that I want to share with you. I'm also just sharing my channel here in the chat because I did do a video a couple weeks ago about how Uranus is specifically influencing each sign. It's going to be in that sign for the next 7 years. So it's kind of like a big moment to see like what the collective influences are as far as like change and disruption when it comes to the Gemini area of our life. Even if we're not a Gemini, even if you're a Cancer or a Taurus or whatever your sign is, we all have Gemini in our chart somewhere. And so we are all influenced by whatever is happening in that sign. And right now it's about a lot of change and disruption and innovation, I would say, as well. So yeah, we're coming up on this moment to take stock on all the things. And I think we're really being asked to think about how we think about things and how we speak about things, and knowing that our word is part of our spell work, part of our creation. So I'll leave you with that. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I like to just give you that energetic report because I think it might help you think about like what's top of mind right now and what you want to ask about. But for now, let's just drop into a little meditation together. Just find a comfortable seat wherever you are. I'm in my bedroom today. Normally I'm in the living room in the Born Witchy studio with all of you, but there's some sort of lawn work happening, so it was quieter up here. So welcome to the back room. Okay, everyone find a comfortable seat. Maybe close your eyes or just cast them downwards, bringing a sense of relaxation to your face, starting to bring breath deep in and out through your nose, all the way down to your belly. Really feeling your body connect with the surface that you're sitting on, whatever it might be. And since we are working with this air element with the mind, just set the intention to kind of gather the tendrils of your mind inwards. Just be like, okay, these thoughts, these to-do lists, what I have to do later, the friend I'm seeing tonight, what I'm going to cook for dinner, like what's on my to-do list for tomorrow. Just pull it all in, like call all those thoughts in. You can use the mantra here or be here now to just quiet your mind and connect with the breath. Using that anchor of the breath or that word here to just stay with it, to stay with the present moment. And from this quiet and centered space, take a moment to ask yourself, what is it that I am wanting guidance on right now? What do I want to converse with the cards about today? And it might be something very specific that comes up that's going on in your life. A social dynamic, a relationship dynamic, a work situation, a health question. It can be anything. Or you might find that you just have a broader question right now, like what's the message of this upcoming solstice for me? Or what does Uranus and Gemini want me to work through these next few years? Or what is this season of my life about? So choose a question, whether it's specific or broad, and trust the first thing that kind of sparks for you, because that's usually the right one. And now ask yourself whether card number 1, 2, 3, or 4 is going to be the one that speaks the loudest message to you today. I'm going to pull 4 cards today. I've been really into that number 4 lately. I think it just feels kind of stable during chaotic Uranus and Gemini times where so much dust feels kicked up in the world. It's nice to anchor ourselves into stability. Okay. Card number 1 and 2 are both major arcana. A really nice card number 3 as well from the court cards. Wow. So 3 major arcana today. If you've been with me before, you've probably heard me say major arcana means big secrets. It's the bigger archetypes that move through our lives. 1 is the moon, 2 is the lovers, 4 is the reversed death card. If you picked card number 3, you have our one and only minor arcana, smaller secrets, which is the reversed Queen of Pentacles, which is a really beautiful card as well, one of my favorites in the deck. So I'm very interested to see what these cards all have to say to us today, because this reading packs quite a punch. It's statistically a little bit unusual for 3 majors to come out, because this deck of 78 cards only has 22 of them. The majority of them are the smaller secrets, the minor arcana. And that's because the majority of life is made up of our everyday and the ordinary moments, and like the things that create the sort of routine fabric of our lives. And that's actually where we can make the most impact. And these bigger ones, these major arcana things, are sort of the broader themes that move throughout the year, throughout the life, and all of that. So it's almost like they're a bit higher up, whereas the minor arcana, the small secrets, are a little bit more like intimate. And here's what you do each day as you think about those broader themes, kind of thing. It's almost like the to-do list that works up to the bigger milestone or goal. I'll dive into the individual meanings of these in a second. I'm just kind of taking in the fact that there are so many majors, that we have the moon connecting us really into our subconscious, our ancestry, kind of into like a deeper part of ourselves. Very different than solstice energy in a way, because solstice is solar, the moon is lunar. It's like the sun is illuminating everything, and it's kind of very like, here it is. The moon is a little bit more of like this hidden world, like our inner world, and it's connecting with the card of mirroring, and the fact that like every relationship is sort of giving us feedback loops of information, with the lovers card, which is all about how all of life, every relationship, whether it's with another person, with yourself, with a thing you're doing, with something that you own, with like a situation, all of it is a mirror for growth. And that we're kind of in this like in this relationship with all of life. The Queen of Pentacles reversed is this earth element card, a lot of like maturity around the somatic system and like how our body is doing. So like that Queen of Cups reversed tells me that like during this air season where things feel a little bit more lighter, fluffier, airier, that we might want to be grounding ourselves in more physical ways. And that reverse death card too, to me, speaks to like a letting go. And the reversal says maybe there's a little bit of a resistance going on there. So that's an initial little overview. Let's dive in a little bit deeper into each one. And as we go through, we can put it all together into a broader story at the end. So if you picked card number 1, you are in that lunar sort of more shadowy process of the moon. This card to me always feels like an invitation to kind of go into your magical spiritual practices a little bit, go into your archives potentially. The moon does have to do with like ancestry and our subconscious and our dreams, and like these more hidden realms that are like running the show in our life. Like no matter what age you are, like you have kind of this like akasha, this like archive of your past and of your ancestry that does influence you in some way. And that's what the moon brings up. The moon is often a chance to kind of review, why am I doing what I'm doing? Am I really acting from me? Am I acting from an old story? Do I need to go and sort of retrieve something from my childhood and my past and look at it again anew from where I am now, to kind of decide how I want to move forward? So if you picked card number 1, like it really is almost like I feel like you're almost being asked to go into the library of you and do a little study, like do a little bit of retrieval, do a little bit of investigation. Like maybe you're going to go and have some conversations with like your elders, or like, your parents, if they're still around, or maybe even looking back at old photos from your childhood and just like allowing yourself to delve into the past a little bit to find information that can help you with the future. So that's a very interesting card. Sometimes with the moon too, it's like there's something that is hidden that like you're now ready to bring to light. The moon illuminates things in the darkness. So sometimes we're just like not ready for something for many years, for like a full chapter of our life. And then there comes a point where we're like, oh, I'm ready to like look at this thing again, you know? Like I know in moments where I've had sort of the moon coming up for me, I've been kind of like, oh, I actually like I have this memory that is kind of haunting me and I sort of need to clear it. And like maybe I need to have like a conversation with this person and I'm ready to do that now. So the moon is when you're ready to bring some light to the shadow. So that's card number 1. It's also a really good card just for like spiritual practice. So if you did get the moon, like maybe do a little bit of meditation, do a little breath work, go to a yoga class, do something that just puts you more in that sort of liminal space where you're interacting with like your spiritual side. If you picked Sarah got number 1. Amazing. I love it. It's a very feminine energy too. It's kind of like high priestess energy. It's like we can get a little magical with it. Card number 2, you have the Lovers. The Lovers, people often think this card is like, oh my gosh, it's about a lover. And it can be about a lover. It is the card that like rules things like marriages and relationships and all of those things. But I'd say romance is more like 2 of Cups, like marriage is more like 10 of Cups. The Lovers is a bigger picture thing about like our relationship to life. And it's very kaleidoscopic. And it actually is related to the sign of Gemini, which Gemini is the ultimate multitasker. And I always kind of joke that the Lovers is related to marriage in the sense that like you have to multitask so much to like make an event like that happen and have your fingers in so many pies. And that's kind of what the Lovers is about really taking a kaleidoscopic look at your life and the relationships in it, the people that you're friends with, the people you're working with, the people you're romantic with, your family, like, but then also like your relationships to the other things in your life. Like it could be literally like your relationship to this thing, like, you know, your relationship to scrolling, like your relationship to your hobbies, like your relationship to your community. The Lovers kind of covers it all and says that if you're ever not sure what to do, like if you're looking for an answer to a question right now, it says to look into your environment and look into your relationships and really see what they're reflecting back to you, because we are the sum total parts of all the things we are in close relationship to. It's kind of like that thing that people say, like the 5 nearest people to you are sort of the average of you. So we have to be very choosy and selective and very honest about like what we're having a relationship with in our life. And that's what the Lovers reminds us. So with this solstice, since we are kind of taking stock about where we are, if you got card number 2, really take a look at your environment, the people, the things, the stuff that's around you, and make sure you like what it's reflecting back to you and see if you kind of need to bring something new in or do a little bit of spring cleaning in this last little chapter of spring before we get into high summer. So you can just like have a hot tarot summer and really relax once the summer comes around and not have any dead weight on you. If you picked card number 3, you have our one and only minor arcana. So she's actually speaking quite loudly to us today because she is the one minor in this like group of big heavy hitters here, the Queen of Pentacles. She's one of my favorites. I love her. The Queen of Pentacles is all about bringing maturity to the earth element, things like our bodies, our work, how we make money, our homes, sort of like the physical things in our life. So it's a very grounded energy. It's very connected to like concrete physical things. And so in a way, it's one of the easiest things to work with if we do it intentionally, even though this season is wanting to take us up into our mind, up into this airy space. This is a reminder that at all times you have this thing right here. You probably have the place you live too. You have all of this earth energy that you can just connect with at any time and find information there in a non-mental way. So if you picked card number 3, I think you're being asked to lean in to your physical world a little bit more. Maybe make sure that your relationship, speaking of the Lovers, with all of that, with your body, with your home, with your job, like it's a good time to review that and sort of see how you can strengthen that, because the Queen of Pentacles wants you to feel really grounded and solid. And the fact that it's coming up reversed is saying you could probably use a little bit of grounding right now. So practically speaking, since we did say minor arcana has to do with everyday life, sort of routines, habits, practices, maybe for you, you're bringing in a new physical practice, whether that's like you're going for a walk each day, whether you're starting a new workout routine, whether you're going to do a meditation routine where you really connect with your root chakra or really just connect with the surface of your floor that you're meditating on, or your bed or whatever. Like, you're bringing in a practice of nature and body and earth element daily so that you can start to turn this right side up, because there's a lot of intuition in a right side up Queen of Pentacles. This is an energy of abundance and like really attracting the things that you need, but it comes from being very, very present in your physical reality. So yeah, if you picked card number 3, work on your grounding right now. Like, go to your local park, get barefoot, put your feet on the floor, go to the beach and get your feet in the sand. Like, the Queen of Pentacles wants you to remember that you are an animal who is a part of nature, and to like find enjoyment of that, to like find enjoyment of the physical in some way. If you picked card number 4, which I think is the one that you got, Luke, from what I'm seeing in your message, you have the reversed death card here. So our last major arcana, giving us a loud message, which is very good for the solstice, given that this is our like mini New Year's resolution moment to take stock of the past 6 months and decide what's coming forward for the next 6 months. Reverse death card says, like, this is a card of letting go and sort of creating space for the rebirth that wants to come in. When it's reversed, there can be a little bit of gripping. Sometimes it's something we don't want to let go of, or maybe we haven't realized that we need to let go of. But that reverse death card does say, make sure you're not hoarding anything, make sure nothing is being kept because you feel bad, or because you feel guilty, or because you feel beholden to something. Like, this reverse death card is really about, similar message that we've been getting from the other cards, and that I think the tarot is always trying to bring us back to, which is like our authenticity and our joy and like our environment, and like our manifestations really an expression of like our true self. And I think part of the theme here is a little bit of like letting go of things that don't actually make sense for us, and that maybe we that moon energy, like maybe we kind of have been doing it, or we've kept that thing because of who gave it to us, or because we don't want to hurt someone's feelings, or all of that. And this death card, I think, is also, speaking of not hurting people's feelings, the thing I like about the reversal is that I think it softens it a little bit as well. Like, if there is an ending that needs to happen, like the reverse death card is a nice remember that like not every ending needs to be a rupture. Not every ending needs to be a drama. There's actually really nice ways to say goodbye. Like, think about how you say goodbye to a good friend. It's not like you're like, bye, like F you. No, it's like you give them a hug and you say, see you later. Like, bye for now. So I think there's a little bit of this message too, if you got card number 4, about like gentle endings as well, and ending things with like poise and kindness, and like not needing to like feed dramas. We don't need that right now. The astrology is dramatic enough as it is. So I do think in general, like, there's something about this like sweet lunar, like very feminine energy, this letting go energy, this checking our relationships, this getting grounded, that I think is kind of saying like, let's reduce the drama in our own lives, because we're going to have to deal with it on the world stage and just in the energies. Things are going to be changing a lot over the next few years. So how can we cultivate an ecosystem of like peace and nourishment in our immediate surroundings? Sort of doing our piece so that the vibration that we're putting out and the energy that's coming from us is contributing to the larger energy in a really positive and grounded way. That's what I'm taking from these 4 cards. What else we got here? Oh, Karen also got 4. Interesting. Not every ending needs to be a rupture. Yeah, I'm glad that resonated. We have a couple more minutes left if anyone wants to chime in with a question. So I'll give you a second to think about that. Otherwise, I'll just like pull 2 more cards. Let's see. Does someone want to ask a specific question for the group before I pull these 2 cards? Can you do a combo reading of 1 and 2? My brain picked both. So you have the moon and the lovers together. Those are interesting together. I think the way I would take that is like, if you take this to be the card of the subconscious and of dreams, and this to be the card of relationships, I think you can take those to be like this as a moment to go back into the archives, into the library of the subconscious, and also into your dreams, um, and think about the relationships in your life. Like, the thing that pops to mind for me, which is more of just like a me example, is like, I could imagine for these 2 cards with me that I might be going back and saying, like, is there anything I need to, like, forgive my parents for or something, for, like, how my life is now and the things I learned from them and the things they taught me that I don't agree with, and, like, can I forgive them and have a renewal of things with them, and then kind of, like, reparent myself so that I can have the outcomes that I wanna see vis-a-vis XYZ thing by sort of doing that sort of family constellation clearing. So that's just an example, but I do think these cards are coming together as like looking into like the subconscious patterns around relationships and love and family for you. And just seeing if there's like anything that needs to be any like if you think of the moon as kind of like the software that's been programmed into you, and the lovers is the relationship in your life, these two together feel like, is there any software rewriting around relationships that needs to be done, like any old narratives that like need to be reset in some way? Great question. Okay, I'm just going to ask the cards to give us a little message as we move through these next couple weeks towards the solstice. Oh my gosh. More major arcana, you guys. I mean, that just tells me, I think it makes kind of sense with the solstice thing, because since it is like this big milestone, like every spiritual practice has like their thing that they do for the solstice. Like it's the longest day of the year. There is like an energy to it. So maybe that's why all of these majors are coming up. Card of Strength and the Magician coming up here. So Strength does relate a lot. I mean, Strength is actually a good Moon plus Lovers answer, because Strength card really is a card of integration, and it's when we kind of heal and integrate our shadows and kind of really become our full self and like love ourselves completely. It's also a card of leadership. It's related to the sign of Leo, this very solar sort of heart-centered leadership. It's about vulnerability as well. And then the Magician is the card of manifestation, and this idea of like creation with all of the resources we have available currently so that we can manifest whatever resources we want next. So those are 2 really, really great cards. In terms of the reading for the solstice, I mean, we literally have the Leo energy of the solar card here blending with like the what do you want to create. So yeah, I mean, I think the cards are just saying next time we meet, which will be right around the solstice in a couple weeks, maybe do really think about kind of like what the goal, sorry, I keep pointing the wrong one because of the reversal of the screen. What is it that you want to see made manifest in your life come, what comes after the solstice? It's the winter equinox. 6 months from now, what do you want to see when you're at the actual New Year's Eve? Like, what has been achieved in 2026? Think about it, because those resources are something we can work on pulling together over these next 6 months. And this Strength card, I think, is really like saying, like, use this time to like do some of the work we talked about with the other cards to make sure we are grounded, we are clear, so we are in a very sort of like authentic place with what we're thinking about. That like these ideas of what we want to create are really our own. No matter how eccentric they might be, no matter how, outside of the status quo they might be, I think these cards really want to say like your best manifestations come when you are like your freaky self. So I love that. Great reading today. I'm like, I haven't seen this many major arcana in a while. If you have any questions or anything comes up, find me on socials, Board Witchy or Betina Bethlem on Instagram. I answer my messages. Book a reading with me. Find me on YouTube, or find me here in 2 weeks with the Lori Project. Thank you so much. Happy Gemini season.